or any of the Canadian brothers, what do you think is the minimum age that a young lady can get married with her parents' consent? The minimum age in Alabama? Huh? No, not 12. Who said it? 14 years of age. The disbelievers, mushrikun, kafirun, pagan, heathenistic, believing that Allah has a son, Christians in America, allow, with parents' consent, their daughters to get married in the state of Alabama, known for its racism, known for its prejudice. At 14, a young lady can get married. In the state of Kansas, she can get married at 12. At 12 years of age. In New York, she can get married at 14. In New York State. In Rhode Island, she can get married at 12. Some of these brothers are probably saying now, I think I'm going to move to Rhode Island, man. Yeah. In Texas, she can get married at 14, minimum. In Utah, I can understand Utah, that's where the Mormons are. You can get married at 14 as a young lady. The other ones are either 15, 16, 17, or 18. And the majority of them are 16. The majority of the states are 16. She can get married. Also, there's approximately 26 states that marriages between first cousins are recognized. Between first cousins are recognized. And a blood test is or not allowed or required. Also, there are about 11 states in the United States that allow two men to come together in a homosexual relationship and be married. Likewise, two women. And in addition to that, some of these states allow a man to take his children from his former wife, marry a man, and take custody of those children. Likewise, a woman marrying another woman and taking custody of the children from her former husband. Now, yes, we know that in Canada, all this is permissible without having United States. Okay, now we're going to read this email. I think you can get the reason why I mentioned these age groups and the cousins marrying this and what's the minimum age. I think you can gather, and if you can't, inshallah, you'll see. This email was to me. I received this when I was in Australia about 3.5 weeks ago. It says, Inna alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulihi wa mustafa wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa tabi'een ajma'een. This is what the sister wrote. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I pray this message finds you and yours in the best of health, the highest of iman, under the guidance of the protection of Al-Muhaymin. Ameen. A brother by the name of, and as I mentioned, I'm trying to be very careful, blank, probably spoke to you during your visit to Melbourne, Australia. I received this letter when I was in Brisbane, Australia. I went to the library in the university and downloaded it, checking my account. Because, as I said, people are always asking me questions. And I had already spoken to the brother in Australia at Melbourne University in Australia, and before I had received this email. She said, a brother by the name of blank probably spoke to you during your visit to Melbourne, Australia, consulting you about a matter regarding his marriage to his sister who currently resides in blank in the United States. She's in the United States, he is in Australia. I am this sister that he has chosen to marry. And I asked him for your email address that I may personally convey to you the details of my situation. Perhaps you have dealt with similar situations, and I'm answering the sister, it's not perhaps. I've dealt with so many of the same situations, it makes me cry. When I read this one, I actually cried. So I thought to ask you for some advice and perhaps some assistance, inshallah ta'ala. I am a 19-year-old Muslimah residing in blank for the purposes of my studies with my family. As you well know, blank has an affinity with the Sufi thought, unfortunately, of which I can assure you that I am not a participant, alhamdulillah. I was never taught under a sheikh, nor did I ever consult such people absorbed in these deviant thoughts, alhamdulillah. My friends and I came to be close to the internet, reading material, teaching myself as much as I could, and associating with the people of Ahl Sunnah. My problem, however, is not unique among the Muslim youth, and the sister is 1,000,000% correct. It's not unique. I've been to Trinidad, I've been to Holland, I've been to Britain, I've been to Guyana, I've been to Australia. Everywhere I've been, it happens. She said, my problem, however, is not unique among the Muslim youth. My parents, unfortunately, have found it difficult to see me trying to step into becoming more, between quotes, religious. To be called extremist, fundamentalist, fanatic is not too uncommon at all, unfortunately, meaning in her house. I have wanted to get married for a couple of years now, but my parents have insisted that I not marry for another 5 to 6 years. In fact, they also made me write and sign a contract saying that I would not mention or even think about marriage for the next 5 to 6 years. Additionally, they have put this restriction upon me that if I marry anyone, he will have to be a blank, mentioning her ethnic background. Commonly, those people are known from blank country. A little over a month ago, my parents dragged me to a blank cultural conference that was held in blank city of blank state in the United States. There I was asked by my father not to wear hijab, for which I tried to compensate by wearing a cotton veil pinned like I pinned my hijab. Unfortunately, this was also not acceptable to my father, for which he asked me not to pin it, but I refused. At one point, things became so terrible that I was struck on my face, getting a cut on my forehead and under my left eye. The argument was heightened. It went so far that when my father said he would not attend any Islamic conferences because he saw what Islam does to me. Islam continues to draw me into. Additionally, he mentioned that he would not attend Islamic conferences because there was, quote, there was no one there like them, end of quote. I was deeply hurt by this because the blank ethnic background conference that we did attend was full of youth who listened to profane music, girls who did not cover. I ended up being the only one covering her hair, even among the older women. There were people who were advocating homosexuality, gender mixing, dating, and the list goes on. Even there was a brother there who was spreading his deviant ideas about how hadith should be rejected and to follow the Quran only. And when astaghfirullah al-azim, he was contradicting everything about the Quran, I myself approached him. He was spreading these ideas among the youth who were not familiar with Islam at all, and perhaps would give them an incorrect understanding